Hi, everyone. My name is Kelly Couch. I am an independent promoter with the company Pruvit. And today we are going to talk about a part of our DMO, or daily method of operation, that is social media posting and your stories. For me, I think this is huge. And if you are not doing this, I think you're missing out on a huge audience. But on the same token, I think it takes work, and I think you have to practice, and I think you have to be super intentional about it. I think not making it an afterthought. I think a lot of times we go on, we make one post a day, and I was guilty of this, so I'm not judging, but we make one post a day about ketones, that's it. And then we're like, oh, I made a post. Why isn't everyone flocking to me to buy ketones, right? So no, that's not how it works, right? And I think the more tips we can get and the more we can share, then we can start working on this together and really, be attracting the people we want into our business. So 2 questions I like to ask for my own social media. What am I trying to attract? And what makes me, like what is me, right? And then you want to match your content to that on your social media, okay? So for me, like when I ask myself, and you're going to ask yourself this, what is me, right? So what are the things I post about every single day? Like I post about homeschooling, right? We just started homeschooling Hayden. I post about my faith. I post about potty training. I post about mom memes. I post about old school rap or not being organized, right? If you're on my social media, you know this about me already because I post about it, right? I post about having goldfish instead of dogs because that's all we can handle right now, right? I post about letting my kids make decisions and what that looks like. Like we are trying to help them make good decisions. What's that look like when it actually plays out in real life? Like Hayden goes to school with last year with like 97 accessories on, right? So how does that look? And then more not so funny things, right? Like lessons I'm working through or how I've changed or grown over the past year or two, right? Motivational things, leadership Zooms. I always share Josh's because he makes nice posts, but yeah, like these Zooms that we're on every day, right? So what I want you to think about though is I think it's amazing to look at other people's stuff. And I think that's a great way to learn. What does Brian Underwood always say? Like if you're going to walk through a minefield, walk behind someone who's done it before, right? And so I think looking at other people's is great. I think taking their stuff, not so great, right? Because any of those things I just mentioned, if Brian James were posting those, that would seem ridiculous, right? Because if Brian James is posting whatever, like old school, like if that's not him, that's not him. Or if Tony Cohen's on posting, mom memes, like that would be silly, right? And so you have to like make it about you. So look at their stuff, how creative they're getting or how they're setting it up or things that are engaging, and then make it your own, right? I think that's super important. And you'll be surprised. I think you'll be surprised what people love. Like the things, I think sometimes we try to make our social media all like things people will like, and you do want to be conscious of that, but I think you'll be surprised the things that you're vulnerable about that people love. Like, for example, one thing I know people love, I did a video about how I don't wash my hair very often, right? People loved it because they didn't want to post it on their own page because they thought that would be weird. People loved it, right? Or when you're working through emotions, sometimes that's hard to put online, but the more vulnerable you get in the silly areas and in the real deep areas, people really enjoy that. So stories versus posts. So I just want to touch on this quickly, how I distinguish like what I put on those 2 each day. So I do 2, 3 a day, 4 a day. I work a lot on my social media. So, find something that works for you. It's just the same thing like a lifestyle or diet people talk about. What the right amount for you to choose is what you're going to be consistent with, right? So you don't want to go one day and do 20 posts and then go a whole week and do none. So if that's 1 for you, then you need to make it good, right? But if that can be 2, 3, 4, 5 a day and you're really being intentional, then let's dig in and do that, right? So for posts, this is where you really want to be intentional. Take your time, spend time on your wording, and show them you, right? But show them the side of you that is a little bit deeper. Like why, instead of like posting a promo flyer, post like how have ketones changed your life? Like pick a way, if you're doing a keto post, like pick a way, if it's changed you and made you a better wife, like dig into that, and then say, thank goodness they're on sale 10% off today or something, instead of just slapping that up there. Or, like for example, for myself, like if I am making a post, I'm going to say something like, about how the sermon changed my week and how this gracious parenting class, and what that looks like, draw it out for people. People want to meet you on your social media. They're not going to buy ketones from you because you slapped a promo up on your page, right? They're going to buy ketones because they've gotten to know you over the past year, and they know who you are. They trust you. They know how you handle your kids. They know how you handle all this stuff. So when you start talking about how ketones have changed your life, now they've trusted you, right? So in stories, that's where you get to have a little bit of fun. So both areas, you're trying to get people to know you, but in your stories, that's where you can make it more fun. I always say, like, my posts are what I'm going for, and then my stories are like the bloopers of what actually happened, right? So in my story, I'm potty training, and this is an amazing journey, and AJ's being independent. And then, like, in my bloopers is in my stories is like when he poops in the bath, right? And that's a total disaster. And then we can vote on that, and you can make those fun, right? So really, I encourage you to get into your stories, because all of this stuff, the end goal is to up your engagement on social media. You want people seeing your stuff. You want people seeing your stories, so that when you do post ketones, it's not just, man, that's all she posts, right? It's like, oh, you can even make your ketone post, like, work on these posts so that it's not like, oh, there's another thing. It's funny, right? Like, I don't know, I did vanilla ice wraps for the new vanilla sky flavor, right? Like, some people might have thought that was stupid. I thought it was funny. And the people who are following me, hopefully they thought it was funny, because we're the same people. I'm attracting the people that I want in my business, right? So I would appreciate people in my business who can appreciate some old school rap. That's fine, right? Make it about you. So, and then lives, I think you want to, and in the stories, I think don't overanalyze, right? It's only on there for 24 hours. So throw it in there, get engagement. If it doesn't go well, who cares? It's 24 hours. It's on there. It's funny. People are getting to know you, okay? So the lives, I think I try to throw in at least 2 a week. If you can do them daily, that is major on social media. So just pick a topic. Doesn't have to be keto. Have a point, and then go with it, right? You can do, Nick does longer ones. I like to do shorter ones. It's up to make it you. Make it about you, right? As far as your ketone posts, in the post, I think, like I said, spend a little bit more time, make it about, take any benefit you've experienced and then post it in there. In the stories, I think you can slam them in the stories, right? Like, when I make keto posts in my stories, I'm leading into the flyer, but I'm making it like, lead in, like, do polls, do recipes, do get in my DM for this or that or the other. I slam them in my stories, but I'm also, like, slamming in there a lot of other things throughout the whole week, so that it's okay. It all plays right into it, right? If you want to get better at social media, what are some ways to do that? So Nick and I joked one time, someone asked us what we do. And of course, we always talk about ketones, but we said we're social media managers, because that was when we were first really learning, like, what is social media and how can it help us? So, watch people who do it well and change it to you. Do it for new people. If you have new people in your business, literally, like, send them good posts that you would like, what's an engaging post? I have a couple that I keep in my phone. It's not, they think they have to get on and then annoy all their friends with ketones. You don't need to do that. You can take a picture of what you're doing in that day and have a little sneaky blender bottle in the corner. So I make examples for people who are new to say, here's a great one for you to post. Be more positive. Do not post negative stuff. There are places and times for that. But if you are trying to increase the people that, the more positive people you're attracting, then you want to have stuff on your social media that's positive, right? And consistency. Consistency is huge for this. So, this is your business. It's not an afterthought, right? So social media needs to be a major, if you want to use that platform to grow your business, and there are people that just have used that platform, then you need to make it part of your DMO, right? It's got to be in every single day thing that you're doing. And you want to build the story of your life for people on there, right? So if someone sees my social media, I want them to know me before we even talk. And then when we get to talking, they're like, oh man, that is her. Like, what she puts online is 100% her, right? And think, if I'm adding new friends on Facebook, if I'm using this and I'm going out and I'm bringing these people into my business, will they know me? Is my Facebook a representation of me? 100%, whatever that looks like. The weird, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, the ketones, all of it, right? So I think the moral of the story here is each day, make your story a representation of your life, and people won't mind your keto posts. And if you can make your keto posts funny and fun too, then I think that's amazing. So I'm at the 10-minute mark. We're going to hop into recognition. I got a list here, so I'm going to read it. Dawn Caudle, always giving great input and coaching. Jess Nouse, stories and posts. You have really stepped up your game. Like her and I made a commitment together to watch other people and do better, and yours are good. Yours are good. I'm like following you some days. Bobby Miller and Pam Matteo reaching up for help for posts. I think that's awesome. If you have someone in your team above you or below you that does good posts, reach out for help so you start to get yours. Jade Covert, well-rounded posts. I love you're always posting your kids and all of that stuff too. Tony Cohen, always on top of the social media. Ken Cool, stepping up your social media posts, lives, and having fun with it. Donna Puccini does lives and being consistent on social media. Consistency is huge. Heather and Ron for always showing up, and Holly Lombard for starting a community walking group. So good job, everyone there. And your call to action today, I want you to write down 5 things that make you you. Like if you had to make a list, 5 things that are you. Like, are you a mom that goes to Target every day and drinks pumpkin spice? Are you a mom that hates pumpkin and loves cats? Like, are you not a mom? Are you whatever is you? Make a list of what makes you you, and then I want you to start posting that. And I want you to make a schedule to post. So like I said, if you can't post 10 times a day, don't make your schedule 10 times a day, but make a post that you will stick to. If you have to start small, but make a schedule and then stick to it for the next week. And I want you to start playing in your stories. If you're not used to stories, I'm not going to give you a call to action if you've never done it, but I want you to start playing around in there. There's ways to make your posts in there super fun. You can make them on Instagram and get them to post to your Facebook. So just play around in there and start having fun with it, and you will get better, I promise. So with that, we're going to wrap it up and go be social media experts today. All right. See you guys. Have a good day.